Let's get to it. We close in on our first bout. Undefeated Hector Camacho Jr. defends his WBA North American super lightweight title against former world champion Phillip Holiday. A matchup where speed could be the big difference in Camacho's favor. One of South Africa's most successful boxers ever. That's Phillip Holiday. He won the IBF lightweight title in '95 with 6 successful defenses before losing a decision to Shane Mosley in '97. Among his defenses, an early victory over 3-time world champ Jeff Fenech, a convincing decision over previously unbeaten Ivan Robinson. He's 0-2-1 in the States, winless in 3 of his last 5. You gotta wonder if the many battles have caught up to him. Pro 91. Bobby, can Holiday turn back the clock? I mean, can he keep up with the lightning fast Camacho Jr.?
You know, as we just talked about with Chavez a moment ago, Holiday's going to need to turn back the clock, but not quite as far. He still has certain aspects of his style, Steve, that can give Camacho trouble and offset some of the speed. He's going to need to crowd him, get inside, land to the body effectively if he's going to have any shot of winning this and pulling off the upset.
As we stand by now for what should be a theatrical entrance for Hector Camacho Jr. Cue the band and get ready, because here we go. This whole glitzy, show-busy ring entrance stuff is really interesting, because Hector Camacho Jr. told us yesterday this is not actually him. In other words, as you see him ride in as Emperor Napoleon on a makeshift horse, it's just for marketing purposes. Camacho Jr. has a little bit of that Hector Sr. flashiness, but he feels he's much different, approaches life more seriously, although that's hard to believe by looking at this. But he is a family man, even though he's just 21. Very humble outside the ring, likes to play basketball, do everyday things, but he's very hungry. He realizes he has big shoes to fill, having Hector Camacho Sr. as his father. Will he someday be considered better than his dad? That remains to be seen. But he's off to an impressive start. He's got good basic skills, outstanding straight left hand, very capable of the one-punch knockout. He may even have more power than people think. He's rated in the top 10 by 3 of the major organizations, #1 by the WBA. Bobby, where does this southpaw stand overall in the talented 140-pound division? Is he ready for a title shot?
Well, Steve, he's on the brink of a title shot, and being on the brink of a title shot, he's on the brink of possible superstardom. Should he beat one of these champions, a Teron Millette or a Zab Judah, the winner of that fight, or Kostya Tszyu, he stands to be a real superstar.
Holiday was actually under, as you can see, 138. Fight time weights, Camacho Jr. a +10 at 150. Holiday 143, just a +5. Key rules: no standing 8, no 3 knockdown rule. A fighter cannot be saved by the belt any round. Accidental headbutt before the end of the 4th. It's a technical draw. At the end of the 4th, we go to the scorecards. So here at Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Phoenix, Arizona, I don't know if we're getting ready for a fight or the rodeo, but here's Hector Camacho Jr. and Phillip Holiday. Formal introductions from Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you and welcome. Y a todos nuestros amigos latinos, bienvenidos aficionados al box. Ladies and gentlemen, we do welcome you to the Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Phoenix, Arizona, as we have a big night of action coming your way, and it's all brought to you by Vlad Wharton's Millennium Events in association with Showtime Championship Boxing and Corona, La Cerveza Más Fina. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we present a 12-round attraction, also brought to you by America Presents, and it is sanctioned by the World Boxing Association North America, along with the Arizona State Boxing Commission. Introducing our officials as appointed. Physicians at ringside, Dr. Charles Howard, Dr. Robin McDougall, and Dr. Joel Monsivais. Timekeepers at the bell, also keeping count of the knockdowns. We have Martin Dominguez and Ray Scott, and our 3 judges scoring this bout from ringside, all from Phoenix, Arizona: Donald Harris, Aaron Kizer, and Howard Richey. Introducing to you at this time the 3rd man of the ring, the referee in charge of the action, Tony Weeks. All right, fans, here we go. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBA North America Super Lightweight Championship. Introducing to you first the challenger on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, entering the ring wearing red and white striped trunks, joining us all the way from Benoni, South Africa. He weighed in at a trim and ready 138 pounds. With a record of 36 wins, 3 losses, and 1 draw, he has 21 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's challenger is the former IBF lightweight champion of the world, introducing Phillip "No Deal" Holiday. And his opponent across the ring on my left is the defending champion, fighting out of the red corner, wearing silver, red, and blue trunks, representing the fighting family tradition out of Carolina, Puerto Rico. He weighed in at the limit of 140 pounds even, undefeated in his campaign in the ring with 28 wins, no losses, 17 wins coming by way of knockout. As the WBA #1 ranked contender, here is the WBA North American Super Lightweight Champion, introducing the undefeated Hector Macho Camacho Jr. Once again, a referee in charge, Tony Weeks, now to give instructions. 12 rounds of championship boxing scheduled.
Okay, let's go. Okay, here we go. Come on, Hector. Okay, here we go. Right here is good, okay? Right here is good. Anything below here is a low blow. Okay, you already received your instructions in the dressing room. I expect a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Above all, protect us at all times. Once again, I want to watch your heads in close. Any questions from this corner? Any questions from this corner? Let's go.
Bobby, your keys to victory, please.
Let's start, Steve, with Hector Camacho Jr. What he needs to do to win this fight. His overall speed is prevalent. He's got to do both hands and feet. Also, those quick and sharp counter punches are deadly, and a new power, straight left hand. For Phillip Holiday, he's going to need to do some different things. He's going to have to keep the pressure on and crowd Camacho, not give him that room to work. Also, work the body, weaken those legs because he's quick on them, and he has a nice overhand right if he can connect.
Holiday at his best, very talented boxer, kept a fast pace, would outwork his opponents, has a good chin, not much punching power. Camacho Jr., a southpaw who may possess a little more pop than his pop, a little more macho than macho, and may be stronger than his father. Here we go, round one scheduled for 12.
There's that left hand right away. Camacho going right to that new power he's found in that straight left hand.
A natural right-hander who turned southpaw when he started boxing. Not many conventional fighters enjoy fighting southpaws, as Bobby Ches can attest to. They just come at you from different angles.
Don't like them, Steve, especially the quick ones. They're really hard to deal with.
Well, you watch tapes of Holiday. He knows he's busy. He keeps coming. He doesn't change. Says he's faster and stronger, though, Camacho. And he is looking to develop more power, especially with that straight left. But he's always learning. The crowd.
See, Phillip Holiday can't stay that far outside, Steve. Camacho's so quick with his legs and his hands. He's going to get hit on the way in, and when he gets in, Camacho's not going to be there.
And Holiday just got nailed with a straight left hand. Holiday normally is an inside type fighter, while Camacho is an outside fighter. You heard the crowd's reaction to Holiday's tactics. Holiday said he didn't watch tapes of Camacho Jr. Says he never does watch tapes. He says, we make our own fights. Hey, there are just two styles. As long as the trainer knows his opponent's strengths and weaknesses, he's happy.
You know, I never agreed with that with fighters saying my trainer watched and I just let him watch and he tells me what to do. I think a fighter should get a feel for his opponent, but he's more comfortable that way. We'll see.
I would think it would be easier if the fighter himself saw the tapes. But he said his plan is to apply pressure from round one, which he is not doing. Tire Camacho Jr. out, slow him down, and that experience will go a long way in this fight. He doesn't want it to go the distance. Wants to stop Camacho Jr. He's not going to do it at this rate and not let the judges decide, which would risk a hometown decision.
Well, right now he's not applying the pressure that he needs to do. He's not getting inside. He's not working the body. And the overhand right has barely been thrown.
And Holiday told us he's not concerned about the awkward southpaw style of Camacho Jr. He said 80% of the fighters in his gym back home are southpaws, so he's used to it.
But I'd be willing to bet very few are this quick.
Holiday sees this as an extremely important fight. He wants to prove to himself and everyone that he's still got it and can win another title. He's a former lightweight champ. And while he does have 3 losses in his mind, he only has 1 real loss. That was a unanimous decision against Shane Mosley.
He just walked into a nice crisp right hook by Camacho Jr. and he's really not keeping the pressure on he needs to do. He's not shutting the gap down. And even when he comes in, he's not coming in behind 2 or 3 jabs. He needs to work his way in. He has to get there. He cannot fight from the outside.
Final seconds of the opening round. Somewhat uneventful, drawing boos from the crowd. Interested spectators, the wife of Camacho Jr., Cielo Masonette, and daughter in search of a seat. Somebody get her a chair. And she doesn't look too happy.
Agua. Ya tenemos un round gano. Seguimos boxeando. Cuando él venga para adentro a tirar golpe contigo, nosotros vamos.
Patient. You lunge and you're trying too hard to get to his distance. Follow your jab, move to your left, follow your jab, and you get your distance right. And when you get your distance right, then you stick to it. Don't be bad, because he's trying to counter punch you. Okay. Okay.
The crowd expecting more fireworks from these 240-pounders, especially Camacho Jr. And now the referee, Tony Weeks, is putting Holiday and Camacho Jr. in neutral corners because there's too much moisture in Jr.'s corner. Try to do some housekeeping there.
Okay.
As this fight is held up momentarily.
It'll be interesting to see if Camacho Jr. picks up the pace a little bit because Holiday applied no pressure, gave him nothing to really worry about. He could pick and choose his spots to fight, to move, to pace, everything he could do at his leisure.
And you heard the instructions to Holiday. If you're a fight fan, you perhaps recognize Harold Volbrecht, former welterweight contender, a southpaw. fact, he fought for the title once against Mark Breland right here on Showtime several years ago. He fought for the title twice, South African champion who made 19 defenses, so a lot of experience in that Holiday corner. Hector Camacho Jr. comes off a 4th-round knockout over Maynard Reed in June 18th, and that was a tremendous straight left hand that leveled Reed in that fight.
Hands-free, don't hold him.
Right now, for this lighter weight, the pace is still pretty slow, even keel, not very fast. Camacho coming in, doing what he wants, when he wants. Holiday is giving him nothing to get the respect he needs, giving him nothing to worry about.
Junior turned pro on the card that featured his father in the main event. Only the 3rd time in modern history that a father and son fought on the same card as professionals. We have not been able to locate Hector Sr. in the crowd as of yet. Apparently he is not here. Perhaps tied up in traffic because it's a good crowd on him. Well, the fans want more activity in the ring from these two junior welterweights, super lightweights, 140-pounders. And it's a little surprising as far as Camacho Jr. is concerned. Taking a little more time than we expected to rev up.
Camacho's throwing a lot of one at a time, right hooks, one at a time, straight left hands. He's not really mixing it up, jab, jab, right hand hook, throwing the uppercuts behind it. He isn't really working hard.
Well, if there is a knock on him, it's that he at times fights a little too defensively, and we're seeing a little more of that than offense right now. He does tend to coast, but that's usually in the later rounds after building up a big lead. He does not like to fight on the inside,
which is where Holiday needs to be.
Right.
I got you. Hold your hands. Let him go.
Another thing that's going to cause this fight to be long and ugly probably is the fact that every time they get close, Camacho just ties Holiday up, just like that, arm around him. Holiday wants to work inside. Camacho does not.
And the crowd continues to voice its disapproval.
Perfecto. Ese es el arte, dale que no me den.
Shambe Mitchell, the WBA super lightweight champion, very interested, putting thumbs down to Hector Camacho Jr. There could be a showdown between those two. Junior is rated #1 by the WBA.
Gritando a él, no a nosotros, porque nosotros vamos a seguir boxeando. Boxeito bonito, seguimos. Ya tenemos 2 rounds ganos, a eso vinimos. El arte, dale que no me den. Coge cubo.
Well, thus far it's been a stinker. As we get ready for round number 3, Phillip Holiday getting as much rest as possible there. He's 30 years old, 9 years older than Camacho Jr. 36-3-1 with 21 knockouts.
You would think that Camacho might want to press him a little more, use his age against him, make him wear out himself early. And, you know, he's not pressing the fight. He's not being impressive. He's not making any statements so far.
Not at all with this big stage. He's being showcased here as the co-feature to a huge event between Tszyu and Chavez, with a lot of boxing luminaries in the crowd. So I would think you'd really want to take it up to the next level.
Every once in a while, one wonders, when they get that label of a little too cautious, are they worried about protecting a semi-good chin? We haven't seen him really tag, so we won't know.
Well, referee Tony Weeks dashes in. It's an official knockdown.
6, 7.
Holiday got up quickly. For Holiday, his 3rd knockdown.
He stuffed that left cross right down the pipe, and Holiday didn't see it. It wasn't that strong. Caught him off balance. Good quick shot.
Only the 3rd time he's been off his feet. It happened in his 5th fight, which he came back to win by decision. That was back in '92, and then in '97 against Pete Talafiero, and he came back to win that fight by decision in 12.
You see what he just did there? He charged in, no jab, no punches, just lunging in, looking to get into Camacho and then start throwing. He's got to work his way in. Camacho's not that foolish. He's much too quick.
There's that vicious straight left hand that scores by Camacho Jr., so perhaps he's beginning to open it up a little more. But Camacho Jr., for the most part, performing in very deliberate fashion here.
Deliberate and still just a bit too defensive. He's not worried about anything, it appears, but yet he's fighting as if he is worried about it.
We're waiting to see that blinding speed we've heard so much about and seen on tapes.
Watch his head. Watch his
The
head.
excellent movement, mobility, and quickness. He's a very personable young man, very engaging.
Hands free in there. Hold him. Hands free. Don't hold him. Don't hold him.
Under 30 seconds remaining in round 3. It's scheduled for 12.
Here we go.
And you hear the crowd's reaction once again. Little trickle of blood on the forehead of Phillip Holiday.
Looks like a scrape, not even a cut, really. It looks like a scratch.
There's that straight left hand by Camacho Jr., but not much power behind that one. Now Holiday beginning to be a little more aggressive towards the end of the round. There's Mom, Hector's mother, Myra Olivio, cheering on Junior.
Fairly simple straight left cross. Holiday comes in a little slow. Camacho just leads right in with it. Catch him more bounce right on the button. But I don't think he had great footing under him. Holiday goes to the canvas from another angle. Right down the middle. Right on the nose. We'll take one more look at it. Very simple. That left hand has been trying to land from the opening bell. Lands. Not a great big power shot, but effective.
Okay, you understand what I'm saying? Stay by your jab. He's going to get tired now. Don't worry, I can see it. He's throwing bombers.
Second down.
It's round 4. Camacho Jr. certainly was flamboyant during his entrance. But once inside, he's been all business. Nothing too flashy.
See, now there's a nice counter. Holiday came to the body with the right hand. Camacho fired a beautiful right hook and stopped and held. Inside, he's going to always hold. He doesn't want to fight on the inside. Does not like the inside action. Holiday needs to move his hands more on the way in and keep them moving. It'll be hard to have them held.
I asked Kostiuszko yesterday if he'd like a shot at Hector Camacho Jr., perhaps en route to unification. He said he's in no hurry to fight Camacho Jr., not because of anything that he's fearful of. It's just that Camacho Jr., he feels, is just not in his league as of yet. And he's still learning. He's just 21. But he respects and admires the young man.
I think that fight would be a genuine, you think they're booing now, I think it would be a genuine stinker to a degree. A lot of power, Kostiuszko, and a lot of caution, Camacho Jr.
And we're seeing that quite a bit here in this fight. And this is up against a South African fighter who's not known for his power.
Yeah, not only is he moving up in weight, but he wasn't a big puncher at 135. Now he's 140, clearly less of a puncher.
Hands free. Hands free. Hands free.
Holiday out of Benoni, South Africa, outside Johannesburg. Said it took him about 20 hours to get here, but he has not had great success fighting in the United States, where he's 0-2-1. Camacho Jr., born in New York City, 112th Street, lived in the city until he was 12, moved to Orlando, now makes home in Carolina, Puerto Rico. Now it's Holiday pressing the attack and digging to the body.
And he threw a nice straight right hand to the body, came up working, but he had to work his way in and keep throwing once he got there. Camacho got away, but he scored points and won the exchange.
Camacho Jr. continues to be very cautious. Not taking any risks.
I'll tell you what, Steve, it's too hot for 12 rounds of this.
As mentioned in the open, 112 degrees outside, and it feels like it's about 100 inside.
It sure does.
Camacho Jr. told us he'd love to fight Julio Cesar Chavez if Chavez pulls off the upset later. His dad, of course, lost to Chavez. That's when Camacho was in decline and Chavez more in his prime. We did that fight at the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas.
1992, September.
Good memory. So round 4 in the books, and again the crowd reacts. Boxing celebrities in this Phoenix crowd tonight. There's 5-time world champion Sugar Ray Leonard. Like everyone else, curious to see what happens later between Costuzou and Julio Cesar Chavez.
Listen, I want you
junior
out of the
middleweight
ring.
champ. Very talented Fernando Vargas. Fans would love to see Trinidad Vargas. Michael Carvajal, former 108-pound champion, and the personable Danny Romero, former junior bantamweight champion from Albuquerque.
Estamos adelante. Cómodo. Hey.
Stay comfortable. Stay
Seguimos
comfortable.
tranquilos.
Take it easy.
Ok, seguimos tranquilos. ¿Cuál coach?
Take it easy.
Seguimos boxeando.
You're doing good.
John Rolón, our interpreter. Not much being said in that corner.
His corner's telling him to take it easy. He couldn't take it too much easier than he's taking it.
Telling you. Round 5 scheduled for 12. This is called the WBA North American Junior Welterweight title, but of more significance, Camacho Jr. looking to maintain his #1 ranking in the WBA. He's also rated #5 WBC, #6 IBF.
Camacho Jr. came out throwing a big left hand, which was blocked. Holiday came back, pressed him. Camacho threw a counter punch, but again, it was one counter. One and done seems to be the issue here. No one's really throwing good combinations on either side.
Camacho Jr. back in 1996 lost in the opening round at the Olympic trials to a fellow by the name of Zab Judah. Zab on hand here tonight. We'll be chatting with Zab a little bit later, get his feelings on the main event, because he could very well wind up in a showdown with Costuzou if Zhu beats Chavez, which most people think will happen.
One south of the border there.
1 point over here.
Taking a point
1
away.
point, low blow here. 1 point,
For the
low
low
blow.
blow.
Keep him up. You want
By
time?
Phil Holiday.
You okay? Okay, here we go. Time in.
I didn't hear too many warnings before that point got deducted. That's a no-nonsense type of judge.
He went right to it. I didn't either. I don't think there was a warning.
Now, hands free, hands free.
Whoa. As he's pushed down WWF style by Camacho Jr. and raises his fist to the crowd.
Come here. Come here.
Crowd turning.
All right, let's keep it clean now. Let's keep it clean. Here we go. Go. Time in. Let's go.
Tony Weeks trying to take charge.
See right there, you saw Holiday ducked, bobbed, weaved, threw no punches, and tried to step in. Before he does that, he's going to get hit, #1. #2, Camacho can easily tie his hands up once he's on top of him.
I got you.
Bobby, is this just the experience of Phillip Holiday, or is it the fact that Camacho Jr. is being too defensive in his own right and too cautious?
I don't think Holiday's experience is making one bit of a difference here. I think he's fighting a poor strategy going in the way he's going in, and Camacho's just being too defensive. I think that's part of his nature, part of his style, and who he is.
Well, Holiday's strengths over the years that he's been fighting for about 9 years, quality of opposition, his work ethic, his dedication, his boxing ability, his chin, and his heart.
Now, his dad was a southpaw, obviously very quick, similar style, very defensive from time to time, good feet, good hands. But his dad would look to put more of a hurting on you all the time. Like that.
But it's been few and far in between.
Sometimes when fighters start getting knockouts with a certain punch, or just start getting knockouts in general, they start to think themselves punchers, and maybe Hector Camacho Jr. has in his head a mindset that he is more of a puncher than he really is.
Interesting point, because it has been one and done for the most part. He has been following punches up. He's been relying perhaps too much on that big left hand.
Time. Here we go. Okay.
Phillip, the referee was very unfair to take the points from him. He doesn't know what he's doing. You can see they favor him. Yeah, that's why. Don't let it put you off. Keep on watching you.
We're going to take a look at that shot that goes south of the border. He comes in with an uppercut. Not a real hard one, but both of them in unison. 1-2. It was sort of a tag team. 2 right uppercuts low. And here Camacho Jr. takes a little wrestling into account, throws Holiday down. A little shoulder, a little twist, a little push. Now we'll see him where he does his best. Left hand. That's the left hand he's been working on, but again, one and done. He throws the one, he closes, but no real punches. No real punches. He needs to follow up with a right hook and then an uppercut or another left hand.
And then you may have heard in the Holiday corner, his trainer, Harold Volbrecht, tell Phillip he doesn't know what he's doing. Talking about Hector Camacho Jr.
Let him go. Let him go. Let him go. Let him go. Watch him listen to me.
Round number 6. One knockdown of the fight. 53-second mark of round 3 from a straight left by Camacho Jr. as Holiday tasted the canvas for the 3rd time in his career. This is his 41st pro fight. Camacho Jr. 28-0 with 17 knockouts. Holiday 36-3-1, 21 knockouts. Former IBF lightweight champion. Won the title on a 10th round TKO over a fighter named Miguel Julio in '95. 6 successful defenses. Lost the belt to Shane Mosley in '97 via unanimous decision.
Don't hold him.
Well, it's not a track meet. And the crowd lets the fighters know how they feel. And it looks like a good crowd, as they're getting ready for the big main event between Costa and Mexican legend Julio Cesar Chavez. Place seats better than 15,000. This used to be the home of the Phoenix Suns.
And the crowd's giving us an indication that they're a little bit of a rowdy bunch. And I'd say there's about 13,000 of the 15,500 possible. And you know what? This fight isn't helping them get less rowdy.
Come up, baby.
A very vociferous crowd, but they haven't had much to cheer about in this fight. But you'll hear them later, that's for sure, when Chavez makes his entrance.
Oh, get up. Nope, let him go, let him go.
So round 6 moves on. Again, uneventful.
This is beyond uneventful. I had trouble sleeping last night. If this was on, I'd have no problem.
You got to be more honest, Bobby.
I'll work on this.
Don't hold back.
Don't hold him.
We approach the final 30 seconds of round 6. Now Tony Weeks calls time because of the blood streaking down the right side of Holiday's face.
Holiday claiming it was an elbow that clipped him across the eye. So motioning to his corner into the referee. It was an elbow, was an elbow.
Yeah, it's outside the right eye, just above the right eye. That's in a bad spot because, of course, it can get into the eye and blur the vision.
That's pretty nasty, too, Steve. That's a deep cut.
Robin McDougall, the ringside physician, attending to Phillip Holiday. That's a nasty one. Pretty deep, too.
Yeah, that's got some size to it and some depth. And this fight's over.
Yeah, it's being stopped.
Stopped just like it started, uneventful.
And the family, the mom of Hector Camacho Jr. applauding.
To his forehead, but he's caused by his elbow. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah.
I get the distinct feeling, Steve, that nothing serious was accomplished here tonight with this fight.
Elbow. Yeah.
So a very, very boring fight. Very disappointing opening fight here underneath Tszyu and Chavez. Not much offense from the normally offensive-minded and quick, flashy Hector Camacho Jr. And almost nothing from the experienced former lightweight champ Phillip Holiday. He hardly offered anything up either. And you hear the crowd reacting to Hector Camacho Jr., who's going to go back with another W to his record, but he's going to leave a sour taste in the mouths of many of these local fans here in Phoenix. So we'll get the official word from Jimmy Lennon Jr. momentarily.
What'd you hit him with, Junior? What'd you hit him with? Right hand?
Just to give you the rules, if a fight is stopped by an accidental headbutt before the end of the 4th round, the fight is ruled a technical draw. After the end of the 4th round, we were in the 6th. They go to the scorecards. Hector Camacho Jr. In front in the fight, no doubt about that. But an extremely boring fight. Perhaps we can get a chance to see exactly how the cut occurred.
All right, what's going to happen? Holiday consistently he's coming down toward the body, and watch Camacho. What he does, he takes his elbow right here, just kind of shoves it to him, and it runs right into Holiday's corner of his eye. You'll see he comes down, he's headed down, elbow coming up, bam, right in the eye, and that may very well have been what split his eye wide open.
So definitely accidental, unintentional.
You see another look. Watch the elbow right in the eye.
Although he did raise that elbow somewhat, but Holiday sort of just charged into it on his own.
Yeah, I would clearly not think that was intentional.
That was not intentional.
Who do you want to fight for the title?
So that is it. I'm not sure what the delay is at this point. Phillip Holiday, not a happy guy. Hector Camacho Jr. will take it any way he can. He's going to be 29-0.
Unfortunately, he's had the makings of one of the uneventful fights of the year, and it wasn't shaping up to be a terrific fight at all.
But I thought we'd see more offense out of Hector Camacho Jr. and that he'd step up the attack and show everybody what he's all about. So somewhat disappointing there. Well, while we're waiting, coming up next, the much debated main event. It'll be hard-hitting Kostya Tszyu versus 6-time world champion Julio Cesar Chavez for the WBC Super Lightweight Championship. Dressing room of the champion, the man with the curious name, Kostya Tszyu, making final preparations for his second defense of the title. Born in Sarov, Russia, in the Ural Mountains, son of a steel worker, former soldier, defected to Australia in '91 as an amateur, won a world championship, brought his wife Natasha, 2 sons, his mom and dad to live in Sydney, now an Australian citizen, speaks perfect English with a Russian/Aussie accent. And tonight could be the springboard to some big money, high-profile unification showdowns. All right, we're ready for the final word. Let's get it up to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout has been stopped at 2 minutes 35 seconds of round number 6. Bout has been stopped due to an accidental blow to the eye. Cut over Holiday's eye. He is unable to continue. Therefore, we go to the scorecards and score the bout. We have a unanimous technical decision. Judge at ringside, Richey, scores the bout 57-55. Judges Harris and Kizer both score the bout 59-53. All 3 in favor of the winner. Still undefeated and still champion, Hector Macho Camacho Jr.
So a technical decision for Hector Camacho Jr. Once again, the crowd showing its displeasure with the effort put forth by Camacho Jr. He wins it on a cut in round number 6, a cut over the right eye of Phillip Holiday, the doctor recommending that the fight be stopped, and that's exactly what they did. Let's get it up to Jim Gray. Jim.
All right, thank you very much, Steve. Hector, the accidental elbow, what happened?
You know, he fighter keeps coming in, but first I just have a message to Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico, quiero pa vieque, junior time. Actually, you know, he came in as an awkward fighter, coming with his head. So I was trying to wait that hook, catch him, and it seemed like, you know, he came in with his head a little bit too much, too low, and the hook just caught him.
How would you assess your performance? The fans here, not too thrilled, they're booing. You have looked very good in the past 3 fights. Was this simply a matter of styles, or was this not your best?
First, I think the fan loves me. And if I get on the ropes, they'll boo me again. I think they love me. As a matter of style, he was an awkward fighter. He didn't come to fight. He came, you know, to give him his all best, come with whatever he got. Head, bunch, elbow, whichever.
Where do you need to improve? What point do you have to work on to improve to be ready for Shanbei Mitchell and to keep advancing?
Shanbei, I don't worry about Shanbei. Shanbei, you know, he's a champion. I'll take a title soon. I need to improve in all parts. I'm only 21 years old. I'm still a baby.
Let's take a look here at the monitor. The knockdown in round 3. Tell us about us, Hector.
Well, I was trying to see what I was doing now was catch with the jab. As soon as he come in, hit him with the straight lefts. And you see it wasn't a hard shot because he caught me at the same time with a jab. But, you know, he kept on coming out trying to time with either the left or the right. He's an awkward fighter.
Now here comes the elbow. What happened?
I was trying to catch with the hook. See, the hook was coming out. See that?
Yep.
And he came in too much with his head. That's what he's been doing all day. So that's what caused that one.
And, of course, the result was the ending of the fight and going to the scorecard. Shanbei, come on in here. Do you think that Hector Camacho Jr. is ready for you?
Hector, I think he's a young guy, and, you know, he needs to improve in some things. I think he will be a great champion like his father was, but he's not ready for me. It's too many big things here.
What did your dad tell you? What is your dad? How much advice has he given you, and how much help has he been?
My father's been a big help. I mean, you know, you see it is, the show, the marketability, how it is. I got everything that Shanbei wants. It's junior time.
You're going to ride off on your horse? Where are you going to ride that horse next? What's your next plans coming in on the horse? Where's he going to take you next?
I had an open date for September 9th, but Mr. Goose in here told me he wants to give him one more fight and then get in there and get his head knocked off.
What are your plans?
Tell Shanbei raise his hand, 7 people cheer for him. My plans are whatever Dan Goosen got for me. I mean, I got the greatest promoter, the greatest matchmaker time, but it's up to them.
Thanks, Jim. Hey, listen, after those compliments, what else can I say?
When's he going to fight and who?
We're going to have a Hector fight again in September, and then we're going to look to try to get this mandatory fight with Shanbei before the end of the year. We feel that it's going to be a tremendous fight since the beginning with Hector Camacho.
Gentlemen, thank you. Hector, congratulations. Back to you, Steve.
All right, thank you very much, Jim. Let's check the online scoring results from our opening bout. And there it is. The fans at home saw it. Hector Camacho Jr. all the way, 6-0. If you took part, we thank you. The online voting will continue with the start of our main event. And Showtime Championship Boxing continues. The